My granddad used to tell me the same story every time we walked the coast path at night. He'd stop right at the bend past the marsh, where the reeds go quiet, and he'd say the same thing every single time.
If you ever see a black dog out here after dark, don't look it in the eyes, and whatever you do, don't say what it looked like, not to anyone.
I used to think it was just something he told kids so we wouldn't wander off in the dark. I don't think that anymore. I grew up in a village on the North Norfolk coast, small place, the kind where everyone knows whose car is whose, and the pub still does a raffle on Fridays. My granddad, Wilf, lived in a flint cottage about half a mile from the coast path, the walking route that runs along the seawall between Salthouse and Clay, past the marshes and the old shingle bank. He'd walk that path every evening of his life, rain or shine. Said it cleared his head, and every so often, usually around bonfire night, when the fog came in low off the sea, he'd tell us about Old Shuck.
They've seen him along this coast for hundreds of years. Big black dog, size of a calf, eyes like storm lanterns, not red, not really, more a sort of green, like a lit match held up behind glass.
He said the rules were simple. See him once from a distance. That's just a warning, a reminder that something's coming. See him twice, or get close enough to look into his eyes, and someone near you doesn't make it to the next year. I want to be clear. I did not believe this, not even a little. I was 26 years old. I worked in insurance. I did not believe in ghost dogs on the Norfolk coast. Then Granddad went into care last spring. Memory wasn't what it was, and somebody had to look after the cottage. So I moved in. The cottage was colder than I remembered. Thick walls, small windows. That smell old houses get. Coal smoke and damp wool. I started walking the coast path myself, partly for the exercise, mostly because I wasn't sleeping, and Granddad always said the sea air helped. It was late October, maybe 9 o'clock. Fog rolling in off the water the way it does out there. Not misty, thick, the kind that swallows your torch beam about 10 feet out. I was near the bend, the one where he always stopped, and the reeds went quiet. I don't mean it got quiet. I mean everything that had been making noise. The wind through the marsh grass, some bird further out, just stopped, all at once. I looked up the path. There was something standing at the edge of the shingle bank, low to the ground, broad through the shoulders. I remember thinking, at first, that's a big dog. Somebody's Labrador got loose. Then it turned its head toward me, and its eyes caught what little light there was, and held it, not reflected it, the way an animal's eyes do in a torch beam for half a second. Held it, like two lit windows in a dark house. I didn't look away fast enough. I want to say I ran. I didn't. I just stood there for what felt like a full minute, and it stood there, and neither of us moved, until a gust came off the sea, and the fog folded back in around it. And when it thinned again, the shingle bank was empty. I told myself it was a dog, a big dog, off its lead, somebody's collie mix. I did not go back on the coast path for 11 days. On the 12th day, my Uncle Pete rang me. He said Granddad had had a fall in the care home. Nothing serious, they thought, until it was. He passed 2 days later. 83 years old, in his sleep, the doctor said. No pain. I sat with that for a long time. Old men in care homes pass away. That's not a mystery. That's not a curse. That's just what happens. But something wouldn't leave me alone about the timing. 11 days after I saw something on that path, I went through Granddad's things after the funeral. You have to. Someone has to. And in a tin box under his bed, I found a little notebook, water-stained, the cover coming off. He'd written the story down. Not for us, for himself, I think. Names, dates, going back to his own father. Every entry the same shape. Saw him near the bend, 3rd week of October. Bill Cooper's boy went in the sea a fortnight after. Another one. Saw him from the church tower. Aunt Renee's chest went bad by Christmas. Page after page of it. Sightings and a death always within the year. At the very back, in his own hand. More recent than the rest. In shakier writing.
If it's you that sees him next, you don't get to just watch like I did all those years. You're the one walking that path now. That means it's watching for you.
I put the notebook down and didn't sleep that night. I stopped walking the path after dark for months, but grief does something strange to a routine. By spring, I'd started again. Daylight only, I told myself. Always daylight. And then daylight became just before it gets dark. And then, one evening in April, I looked up from my phone and the sun was already down, and I was standing at the bend. The reeds went quiet. I told myself to turn around. I did not turn around. It was closer this time, near enough that I could see the shape of its breathing, its sighs going in and out, slow, like something that was in no hurry at all. And I looked at its eyes. I know what Granddad said. I know what the notebook said. I looked anyway, because some small, stupid, grieving part of me wanted to know if he was really in there somewhere, watching over that path the way he had for 60 years. The eyes didn't glow like lanterns this time. They just looked tired, familiar, in a way I didn't want to name, even in my own head. Even now, it held my gaze for 3, maybe 4 seconds. Then it turned, unhurried, and walked off into the marsh grass, and the fog closed in behind it, and the reeds started up again like nothing had happened at all. I haven't told anyone what it looked like, not properly, not even here. Notice I haven't described its face. I'm not going to. That's the one rule I'm keeping. I still live in the cottage. I still walk the path most evenings, and some nights when the fog's thick and the reeds go quiet at that bend, I catch myself standing very still, the way Granddad must have stood for 60 years, waiting to see if it comes back. I don't know if I'm still just someone who saw it, or if I'm the one it's watching for now. If you ever find yourself on the North Norfolk coast path after dark, and the fog comes in, and everything goes quiet all at once, keep walking. Don't stop at the bend. And if you do see something out there, don't tell anyone what it looked like, not even in the comments. Just tell me, have you ever seen something on a night walk you still can't explain?